Welcome back to the West End of London. We've made our way to Old Crompton Street. And on Old Crompton Street, you can find all types of boys. You can find curious boys, interesting boys, and then you can find the Jersey boys. The main man is Ryan Molloy. How are you?
Good, man. Very good. Yeah, we're definitely a bunch of hey-sexuals over here. So hey! That's what the boys are in Jersey Boys, for definite.
How are you doing? Because the last time I saw you was in Taboo. That was quite a different role to Frankie Valli, wasn't it?
It was. I mean, in Taboo, I played it's similar in some ways. I played Steve Strange, who was, he was a living icon, and he used to come down and watch the show and put his eyeliner on in the dark, which is similar to Frankie because he's alive.
How are you doing? Because this is a remarkable role to be offered in the first place. It's probably one of the biggest roles in the West End because from the beginning to the end you don't stop, and you have to sing the most extraordinarily high notes. I've never heard anything like it.
Yeah, man, it's an incredible sing. I mean, there's over 21 songs that I have to sing myself, and it was crazy when I went to see Ron Melrose in New York, and he gave me the list of songs that I had to sing. It was just like, yeah, I thought, oh, these are all the songs in the show. He goes, no, these are your songs. These are all your. I was like, oh right, it's all right, innit? But yeah, it's been good. I mean, the rehearsal process, it's been like 4 months. They got me really ready. I spent a lot of time in Nashville with Bob Gaudio, and he helped me so much with the tone and the feel of everything, and getting into the soul of Frankie, and told me some fantastic stories. You know what I mean? Which I'm not allowed to repeat. And if I do, I'll be rolled up in a cob and dumped in the back of some lorry and never seen again. Probably buried underneath some bridge or something, holding up some bridge. But yeah, I mean, it was just a fantastic experience. It's been great.
Help me with how you get those high notes.
Well, I have a fantastic dresser. His name is Johnny, and just basically when I'm not able to, he just kicks me in the ghoulies. Gives me a quick kick in the ghoulies, and woo, and off I go. I mean, the thing is about the songs are it's really you've really got to come from the angle of you can't push those songs. You really have to swim inside of them. You know what I mean? They're fantastic songs to sing, and I've got a great background. I studied with a man called Paul Becky when I used to live in Newcastle, who trained me in bella canto, which is an opera technique. And that was a fantastic foundation. I've been singing, all my life, so it was good. I mean, you always learn new things, and we have a fantastic vocal coach who's called Katie Agrester, who gives us various things to keep the voice strong, and it's brilliant. She's got this new technique where you just basically pull on your tongue with a little face cloth, and you do all these scales that she's devised, from doing all of the companies, but it really works. It keeps you loose, and she just says, whenever you're feeling a little tight there, just have a little snore, just loosen it up, stay loose. So she's great, man. As soon as you go out, you come flying in, when you're 16 years old into Silhouettes, and you don't come off until you're like late 50s in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. So I mean, it is a real journey. I mean, it's fantastic for an actor to be able to go on that journey and to find out all those deep dark secrets about yourself over a 2-hour period. It's a great adventure, and also as a singer, it's a fantastic challenge.
How paranoid are you about getting a cold or getting ill or not being vocally fully prepared? It must be terrifying because you really are the show.
It was bad because when we were coming up to press night, everybody starts getting ill. Everyone starts getting ill around you. We started having all these things. And it was like the symptoms were, oh yeah, I'm going to pass from. And then I was like, oh. So, you immediately just, kind of go into hyper panic, crazy obsession mode, and, go to, Fresh and Wild, start loading up with, what was it? It was oil of oregano. I was hitting oil of oregano. My elixir. The elixir helped me through, man. The elixir got me through. And I tried to buy elixir for the other 4 seasons, and it was only Phil Bulcock who took the elixir. Stephen Ashfield threw up, and Glenn Carter was afraid of it. But both of those boys, they were ill. But me and Phil were all right, thanks to the elixir.
When I look at your training, it's quite remarkable. I mean, you've been here in the UK, then you went to LA, and then you went to New York. Do you think that's why you're here today? Because you've had the American discipline drummed into you? Well,
I come from a really tough background in North Shields, and and my mother was always really strong. So it was, I had a lot of mental toughness from my family background, and that was enabled me to take the challenge when I was just went over to LA when I was 19. I just went over there, I just followed the dream, and it was good. And I just dived in the deep end, and I was there for I think it was like 4 years or something, and it was sleeping on couches, and just really going for it, doing karaoke competitions to make a couple of bucks, so we could buy some spaghetti so we could eat. But I was surrounded by some of the most greatest singers you've ever heard. I mean, it was absolutely fantastic. When I was over there, we used to sing in this place called the Kibitz Room. It's this Jewish bakery which is on Fairfax, and out the back they had this blues night where just every every like top singer who was either signed or unsigned would just come out of because it was pitch black, come out of the darkness and just get up on the stage and wah! And it was just a fantastic experience to be around that at the age of 19, and it really, you know, inspired me a lot, and it's given me a lot of the courage that I have still today.
You have incredible energy and the most peculiar speaking voice. Is that kind of half North Shields, half LA, and a bit of New York thrown in?
Yeah, you know what I mean? I sound like the guy. I sound like Christopher Lambert from Highlander, man. I'm some Russell Nash dies tonight. Yeah, when I was in LA, I had a really strong, broad Geordie accent. I talked so fast they couldn't understand what I was doing, and I was going up for loads of auditions, and I was getting these auditions, and I was they're like, Ryan, fantastic. If you can just read this piece of script, and they're like, okay, thank you very much, Ryan. Next. And it was like my accent was just always so out there, so I had to study these Samuel French tapes to like get, you know, a Midwest non-dialect accent. And then it's just at that point I got a record deal in London, so I had to come back. So that was it. On the plane, something happened to my voice where I don't know, it just bailed out with a parachute.
And of course, this is the Jersey Boys. We're not talking near Guernsey. We're talking New Jersey. We're talking New York. How difficult is it to master that accent?
It's tough. I mean, the songs are tough to, you know, to sing those songs, but it's also because a lot of the songs just go straight from song into dialogue, and the Jersey accents are really hard, abrupt accents. So the switch in that is really hardcore. But the thing is, we had a fantastic a dialect coach called Stephen Gabus, who was absolutely fantastic. And I think, you know, it's such a strong focus to get the accent of a place that you're playing, you know, absolutely correct. I mean, it really helps with your character and your building. And you know, they were there for us all the way along the way, and we got a fantastic vibe going on. So and we've had some great comments from like some people from Jersey who thought we were Americans, and we all come out, you know, and you know, Stephen's Scottish, and you know, and the rest of us are like, you know, the English types. But yeah, I mean, it's a great comment from some of the Yanks that they think we are actually from there.
And what's it like being the star to appear on the Loose Women's, the GMTVs, all these different TV shows that really West End stars never get to go on? That must be a fantastic thrill. It's
just great how much we've been appreciated, you know, going on these things, and the presenters are, you know, they've seen the show and they're really raving about the show, and they're really happy to have us there, and it's a great, you know, it's really nice to actually go to these things, and you know, they're really welcoming, and just to do the songs and stuff, and then it's great to be in the show right now. It's fantastic.
And presumably being the headliner, having your face on the picture and being on all the billboards and your name at the top of the programme, that's really what you've worked this hard for.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a tough road. I mean, the last 5 years are really, you know, focused on this is what I wanted to do after I came out my record deal, and I wanted to get back to acting, and it was tough at the start, you know, because I'd lost a lot of momentum when I was in Los Angeles. It was really going well for me. I was, you know, meeting Joel Schumacher, Penny Marshall, and it was getting really, you know, close, and then I had to come back, and I just lost that emphasis and kind of lost my window, so I had to really start from the ground up again. I had to start taking some, you know, summer classes, trying to get back into it, some little classes, you know, here and there over at the City Lit, you know, just trying to get my Meisner technique, you know, sparks back up again. And you know, from that I did a little thing in Edinburgh, you know, and it just kept building and building, and I got Taboo, and then, you know, Jerry Springer the Opera, and it was good. I mean, it all, you know, just kept believing and just kept focusing, and that was what I really wanted to do. I wanted to get back, because there was so many unanswered questions when it was like with the acting, but it was great that I had my voice all the way, you know, to keep me warm, to keep me believing, man. So it definitely kept my heart beating.
I think I saw you in the tour of Jerry, and I certainly saw you in Taboo several times. It seems to me all this learning and coaching is somewhat irrelevant, because at the core has got to be a great talent and a remarkable voice, or you wouldn't be here today, would you?
Oh, thanks very much, man. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, I just focus on the numbers. You know what I mean? Just trying to make it through the night, and try to, you know, represent the show the best I can, and just, you know, keep my feet on the ground, and just keep it all together. I mean, I think that there was a time, you know, in your life you just get confused about why you're doing it, and you just don't enjoy your tennis, man. I remember when I was watching the guys on Wimbledon, you know, and athletes. I love watching athletes about how they prepare for stuff, and you know how mentally they go into things. And it was like, yeah, and Jimmy McEnroe was like, I wasn't enjoying my tennis. I just wasn't enjoying my tennis. And I was like, there was a time when my tennis, I wasn't loving my tennis. But you got to be really into, you know, your talent and what it is, and try to understand it the best you can. Don't abuse it, you know. And you are together on this road. But you know, when you got that, I mean, it's all you got. You know what I mean? So it's good, man. Just stay focused and believe in it.
Is there any better thrill than being in the launch of a show right at the beginning, in the creation of it?
It is. It's fantastic, because it is fresh and new. And the great thing about the show, all the creatives, you know, Des McAnuff, Sergio Trujillo, all those boys, and Rick Ellis and Marshall Brickman, they care so much for the show, you know what I mean? And they want it to be the best that it can be, and they believe in it, they care for it. It's like their child, and they show so much enthusiasm for the show and for you getting it right, and they help you all along the way, and that buzz starts getting, you know, created. You're meeting other people, and it does feel like, you know, when we were putting it together here, like it hadn't been done anywhere else, you know, and it felt so new and fresh, and we, you know, allowed to bring our own things to the party, and it was just a fantastic thing that, you know, we could do. And then we hit, you know, the night, and the press night was just awesome, man. It was a fantastic. There was so much, you know, pressure that we all overcame it, and everybody together as a group really pulled together, and it was a fantastic evening. And then at the end, when Frankie and Bob walked on stage, it was just like, whoa, you know, the emotions were just overflowing, and it was brilliant. I just looked into his eyes when he came on. I was like, oh man, I nearly went a bit Gwyneth Paltrow at the Oscars.
And very finally, that feeling when you know there's a big star in the audience, which obviously happens at the launch of any show, does that change the way you think about the show, or do you just have to block it out completely? Yeah,
you don't think about those things. I mean, it's weird, because when all those things are, you know, coming up to opening night, and, you know, you start getting gifts from people, good luck and all this, you start going, whoa, good luck, what do you mean good luck, will there be bad luck? But you just got to expel all those thoughts from your brain and just get down to business, you know what I mean, and just trust in the piece. It's a great piece. Trust in the people that are around you. You know, I'm surrounded by fantastic performers and actors and singers and musicians, and a great crew that we have here as well, you know what I mean, all the way through. Fantastic people at the theatre, and everybody together, you just made that night very special.
And bearing in mind what a dump it was backstage at Taboo, what's it like having this palace of a dressing room?
Oh, no, it was unbelievable. I mean, at Taboo, I think everybody was in a room about the same size as this. But I mean, it was great fun when I was at Taboo, you know, because I was, all the boys were in the same room and all the girls were in the same room. But I had had a great honour of being in a dressing room with some absolutely fantastic actors. I mean, it was right next to David Burt, you know, Paul Baker, you know, Johnny Partridge was in there, Ewan was in there, Boy George was in there himself, you know what I mean? So I was surrounded by, you know, fantastic guys. And, you know, I learned a lot from those dudes, man. It was a great honour, you know, sharing a dressing room with them. But it's good now, you know, you've got a dressing room with you, and you have a little lie down, you know, when you fancy it, you know, and someone's not going to throw Skittles at you when you're resting.
And you can sit on your vibrating chair. What a thing that is.
Yeah, it's a gift from my mother, the vibrating chair. I'm very excited about it. But yeah, man, I don't know if it's actually doing more harm than good. I've got more knots on my back than I've ever had before, but it definitely is a lot of fun sitting on it. Yeah.
I think you should get a few guys, you know, start renting it out to people in the theatre.
Definitely, man. Phil Bulcock from next door, as soon as he finds out, he'll be like a little magic carvet. He loves that shit.
Right, Molloy, you're a complete unique talent, and your voice is just spectacular in the show. I can't recommend Jersey Boys enough. It's one of those rare things that comes around ever so often where you just get a brilliant show. It's still number one on Broadway after 3 or 4 years, and it's going to be here for a long time because it's a brilliant show with fantastic songs and great performers who do justice to the songs, which is all the ingredients you need, really, to make a great show.
Yeah, man, it's got everything, man. It's got everything. It really is, you know, just it's a fantastic honour to be involved in it. I can't say enough about it. Everybody's really excited about being in it. Everybody's, you know, all of our producers and everything are really excited how the British audience have, you know, taken it to their hearts, and they have. I mean, it's fantastic. We're getting standing ovations every night, and we're getting standing ovations every night because the story is so compelling, you know what I mean? It's such an emotional journey that the audience have to sit there and watch, and they have to watch these 4 guys from nothing, you know, rise up to the, you know, the heights of megastardom, and then, you know, lose it all, you know what I mean? And it is a real blue collar story, and it's really from the heart.
I wish I just had 1% of your energy. I'm such a bore. I mean, you speak so quickly and you speak so intelligently, and I'm sat here so boring and energyless. It's just phenomenal. Thank you very much for talking to me, Ryan.
You know more big words than me, man.